Hi, and welcome back to another episode on the podcast. And today we're going to discuss whether there was a gender, ethnicity, or disability agenda during the Paris Olympic and Paralympic Games in given YouTube channels. The channels that we are going to discuss today will be the BBC Sports and the NBC Sports, as the two channels covered the Olympics and the Paralympics in their channels in the past summer. The first topic we'll cover is race. In terms of race, the coverage of Paris 2024 Olympics on NBC Sports and BBC was successful, as the competition's big talents such as Simone Biles, Suni Lee, Noah Lyles and Coco Gauff and more were like hot topics during the competition. These two platforms always made sure to include and cover every race where it's possible. However, there has been a controversial takes during the Paris 2024 Olympics broadcast, with one of these being on NBC Sports, and as after the 200 meters running track finals, the newly crowned champion Leslie Tobago called the previous title holder Noah Lyles out, and in a press conference, as he called him arrogant and very loud person. And in this case, the media and the NBC Sports took the chance to put the spotlight on these words by Tobago, as they created more drama on the case than there was already there, even though there was no need to make a bigger deal of it, of that Tobago quote, and showing that they know they can make profit of someone's words and views of someone's words, whilst bringing up the arrogant or more agendas for black men in sports. Even though Lyle's attitude is very much seen as confidence only. Theorix Lamerix in 2018 said that social media have come to dominate social political landscapes in almost every corner of the world. New and old racist practices increasingly take place on these platforms. Racist speeches thrives on social media, as well as including through cover tactics such as the weaponizations of memes. The next topic we will talk about is gender. And in terms of gender, the representation is a massive topic in the media, as it's the way society, such as ethnicity, gender, and more, are presented to the audience. Stuart Hall, a theorist, in 2017 said that representation implicates the audience in creating its meaning, power, through ideology or stereotyping, as well as representation can be understood as a reflection of the real world. NBC Sports and BBC have both been controversial over the years whilst broadcasting the 2024, just the Olympics in general, but in the 2024 Paris Olympics and Paralympics, as sexuality, gender or sexism always make the public talk. And as we've seen in the past, the women's football has been talked about a lot in terms of coverage at the Olympics and the Paralympics, as well as the boxer, which went viral this year, called Iman Khalif, which failed a test, saying that she was a man, but she was not, apparently. So then the controversy had every sports fan talking during the summer. However, platforms like BBC and NBC Sports handled the situation very well, because they didn't put any bias towards the topic, nor made any comments, or the workers did not make any comments on that. So they were quite professional about it, unlike maybe Eurosport, which commentator Bob Ballard, who made comments regarding women during the swimming 4x100 relay competition, and ended up getting sacked. But overall, the BBC Sports and the NBC Sport did a great job this summer covering both men and women during the Paris 2024 Olympics and Paralympics in terms of gender. And lastly, we will discuss disability. Unfortunately, the BBC Sports and NBC Sport YouTube channels fail to show much coverage of the Paralympics this summer. The videos shown by the BBC and the NBC Sports Online covering the Paralympics always seem to highlight how what the athlete's disability is or what caused them to be disabled, and never focus on the achievement in the Paralympics, which is the main focus that we should be focusing on. So this agenda takes away the focus from the sport as well as pitying the athlete, because obviously it's not talking about what they actually achieved. A theorist, Hardin, in 2009 says that disabled sport is commonly excluded because it's not seen as serious or competitive. Another theorist, Luis Rojas Torrijos, says that out of 10,821 tweets that the BBC Sport made, only 136 were on disability sport, which is 1.26%, which is very, very low. In conclusion, BBC Sport and NBC Sports did well covering certain areas of the competition, such as race and gender. However, the Paralympics and disabled athletes still needs coverage and still needs working on in terms of coverage.